you have to clap or anything?
No. See, since I ran it straight in, I don't have to worry about anything.
That's nice. I wish we could have done season 2 this way.
Honestly, I am doing a series of like how-to videos on like how to do things super easy. This is I call this the 5-minute setup.
It seems like people want to make it as difficult as possible to be creative in our industry.
Exactly, right? So I'm here with David Schatanoff, and that intro, we're just going to jump right in there.
Cool.
Because that was Insight.
I like it.
And we're here at HollyWeb in 2018. That's the year, right? I've been here so many years now.
Yeah, it's 2018.
So how you liking the festival?
Oh, the festival's great. We've been here before. We've been here twice. Once with Ellie Macabre season 1, and then we were here in years before that with a documentary series that we had called Vampires.
Wow.
Documentary series called Vampires.
I mean, I was probably here then. I don't remember. Oh my God, I do. Did you guys go like down like Louisiana?
Yeah,
like
went down to New Orleans. Filmed a bunch of people that believe they're vampires and they drink blood. And
that's funny because I remember that show from HollyWeb. I distinctly remember it.
We won that year. We won for documentary series.
Yeah.
Our creator Austin Smoke is the DP of Ellie Macabre.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's why I do these interviews. See, I learned things that I didn't think I was going to.
Full circle.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, you're on season 2 of Ellie Macabre. What is the key to being able to go from just, because everybody makes a first season,
right,
but so few people are able to at least sustain it into a second season. I mean, obviously, long-term sustaining is very difficult, but just to go from a first season to a second season, what do you think is the key?
I think the main key, once you get out of the logistical sense of everything, once you get past money and crewing up and stuff like that, I think it all comes down to story. And if you have a story that can be sustained through multiple seasons, I think that's kind of the key, because we're in a space where creating the show is pretty attainable now. We have the technology, we have that editorial ability, the post-production abilities, and with distributors like YouTube and Amazon, it's easier to get your content out there to an audience. So if you're able to keep your costs down and you have an interesting story to tell, I think that's the main driving force from going from season to season. A lot of people will, they'll do 5 episodes, they'll do an entire season, and creatively they may have fulfilled their vision with a single season of the show. With Ellie Macabre, Dan Ast, our show creator, he from the start had envisioned a 3-season arc for the story. So naturally, once we completed season 1, we knew we wanted to do a season 2. So once you get past the story aspect of it, and making sure that you're able to sustain an interesting story across multiple seasons.
Once you've written it so that it can actually go on,
then it becomes a logistical question, like, can we afford this? How do we shoot this? How do we make it so that we can do it with our small crew? So those are the questions that we were kind of looking at.
What was that key logistical question, basically, that came up between the 2 seasons, where you had the story in place and you had to ask yourself, okay, this is what we need to make sure that we can do this?
For us and for a lot of creators, it came down to money. Yeah. It was how do we afford this story? With season 2 of Ellie Macabre, Dan wanted to take our characters. Season 1 is very much a self-contained story where our characters are creating a YouTube show in their apartment and exploring things that are happening around Los Angeles. So we were able to use Dan's apartment as a location, my house as a location.
Very easy to, very doable from a production
And most
standpoint.
creators will find that one location that looks good, and they'll film a majority of it there. We filmed with a very small cast in season 1. Season 2, we wanted to expand the story.
Right, and that's what's really noticeable, just from watching that episode in there, just all of a sudden, it's like, whoa.
Right, we're at multiple locations. We're at, we're in the apartment. We're in a couple bars. We're out in the desert. We're all over the place in season 2.
Props and just, set dressing as well. Just that, it just seemed like not just one step up, but just, it's definitely TV quality. Like you really wouldn't know the difference.
And that's what we were trying to achieve with season 2. Is we were trying to get them out of the apartment, out into the real world. show what happens with these characters once they live a life like you would normally lead within the circumstances they're leading.
And so you would say really the key was how you were able to look at what you had on paper and fit that into the budget that you could
Yes.
need to get for it.
Yeah, as a producer, that's my main job, is to take the written word, translate that into a financial and a tangible shooting schedule and a final product, essentially. So if I can look at something like LA Macabre and have confidence that, one, we can afford the talent involved in this, two, we can afford the locations, and three, we can afford to pay the crew.
Right.
Whether it's three of us, like there are on LA Macabre, or if you're looking at a bigger scheduled show, if I look at all those things and all those things fall within the budget that we have, or we feel good about the budget we need to raise, then the project's go for it.
Would you do that where you would budget it out so much to where you're like, we can afford like 3 people today, or we can afford 2 people today? Did it get down to that like level?
We never looked at it in that aspect. So Dan originally was going to write a 150-page season 2, which to me was a very kind of shootable script for a second season. He wound up taking a little bit longer, and I told him, just write the story you want to tell.
Yeah.
Because that's what it boils down to, is what is the story we're trying to tell to an audience. 300 pages later, I'm looking at multiple locations out in the desert. I'm looking at cop cars and cop uniforms and 62 speaking parts. So it was a little bigger than I anticipated. But with that type of challenge, it's just, where can we pull from in the budget? Where do I need to go out and look for more money? How do we get that money? And how do we best spend it? And those are all parts of the producing puzzle that everyone encounters that you're going to answer before you take that step into day one and welcome everybody to the set. You're going to have answers for all of those. And if you don't, you're in trouble. You might wind up with 3 completed episodes and a bunch of other episodes. So
which I've seen many,
and it does happen. You want to get in and you want to start shooting. And our team prides itself in kind of completing. So that's a big thing for us. Let's not just go out and seek to start something.
Focusing on making sure you can get it done.
Yeah, let's get out there and complete the project. Let's have a completed vision of the story. And for us, ultimately, that means a 3rd season.
Fingers crossed, right?
So yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, David, thanks for your time and your insights.
Oh, absolutely. Appreciate it.